I want to explain to you a document we're looking at here. This is what's called an order paper question. In Parliament, there's something called a question period, which is exactly what you know. The opposition stands up, verbally asks a question. It typically is a surprise question. The government doesn't know it's coming. The government probably had a hunch it was coming because it's usually on some scandal of the day. So the government either has a prepared line or they just sort of get the fog machine going. Very little comes out of question period in terms of news or facts. It's just lots of Sturm und Drang. But order paper questions are a little bit different. They're put in writing and they're not answered immediately live. They're answered by cabinet ministers and they really are answered typically. They're not just sloughed off. So earlier this year, an MP from Okanagan named, I'm just trying to remember his first, Dan Albus, that's right. Dan Albus, who's a Conservative MP, wrote an order paper question, which is this, and I'll just read it to you. With regard to usage of the government's fleet of Challenger aircraft, since February 1st, 2023, what are the details of the legs of each flight, including the date, point of departure, destination, number of passengers, names and titles of the passengers, excluding security or Canadian Armed Forces members, total catering bill related to the flight, volume of fuel used or an estimate, and amount spent on fuel? So he's basically saying, tell me everything about who's using Canada's private jets. When I say Canada's private jets, I mean the government's private jets. So that's a pretty good question. You can imagine if you said that in oral questions, in question period, the minister in charge, which in this case is, I'm not sure who the, if this is the transport minister or what, I'm sorry, I don't know a department. But whatever the department is, if you would ask that technical, detailed question, they would stand up and say, I don't have those details off the top of my head. That's the point of a written order paper question. You can ask an extremely detailed question. Tell me every flight, where it went, who was on it, how much you spent on catering, the titles of every person, how much you spent on jet fuel. That's a great question. So show the answer. Put the answer on the screen. And I just want to, and let me just show what some of them look like. So, for example, February 6th to 10th, you can see Her Excellency the Governor General, Ian McCowan, Ismat Hijazi, Jeanette Stovell, Mireille Sylvester. So just naming the people who are on the plane. I'm just giving you an example. There are 15 passengers. They were named, 2 security, 3 Canadian Armed Forces, and 4 crews. So they named the people who there, and they spent $5,000 in catering, 24,000 liters of fuel, and $40,000 spent on fuel. That's just an example of an answer. And you look through these and you start to see some recurring names. For example, the very couple days later, you can see the Prime Minister's on the flight, and Hadrian Trudeau, that's his son, is on the flight. So he's flying with his son, just taking his son along on the government jet. And Adam Scotty, for example, we know is his personal photographer. So he went to Whitehorse and back. And if you scroll through it, you can see who's on the planes. Now, Sophie appears only once in February. Sorry, let me take that back. If you do a word search for Sophie Gregoire Trudeau, you can see that she is on a flight on April 2nd to 10th as they go Ottawa, Montreal, Val-d'Or, Quebec, Toronto, Peterborough, Montreal, Bozeman, Montana, Yellowstone, and back to Ottawa. So it's this big fly along, pick up different people, and they're going on a holiday in Montana. So can you blow up that to make it as large as possible? So here's who's on the trip to Montana. It's a holiday to Montana. Justin Trudeau, Sophie Trudeau, Xavier, Ella Grace, and Hadrian Trudeau, so all the kids. And then I don't recognize Cameron Ahmad is an assistant to Trudeau. Adam Scotty is a photographer. I don't know all the names there. And so Justin Trudeau is taking another man's common law wife, his legal wife, but in April of 2023, Sophie Gregoire Trudeau was living with another man, this Ottawa doctor. Now, maybe it's okay to go on a family vacation with her ex on government expense. But you can see one of the reasons why they lied, why they would want to lie. Because it's a question, isn't it? Why are you flying around your ex-wife who is with another man? And that's just one question amongst dozens of questions of what did the taxpayers spend perpetrating the fiction that Justin Trudeau and Sophie Trudeau were still husband and wife? What perks did she avail herself of? What cost did she avail herself of, given that they have not actually been together for a year and a half? So that hand-holding picture, can you show the hand-holding picture again? What was the point of this hand-holding picture? The anniversary picture. And by the way, who took it? When you think about that, who took that picture? It's a posed picture. They're driving like they're an old happy couple. They're both, I don't know if Trudeau's with anyone. I could speculate, but I don't know. But we know that Sophie Gregoire Trudeau is living with another man who's still married, apparently. Who conceived of this and why? And were government resources used for it? And is that inappropriate? There's some legal and ethical questions there for sure. Now, I want to show you something that's a little unusual in my mind. There's a nanny, a young woman who works for Justin Trudeau, named Sarah Clarke, Clarke. And if you look at the same answer, this same document, she flew on a flight on April 30th of this year between Ottawa and Toronto. And if you look at who's on that flight, Justin Trudeau is on it, James Armbruster, Alex Tetreault, Kate Van Gerven, the nanny, Sarah Clarke, and several other people. But I don't see the Trudeau kids on there. So why is this young woman, why is this nanny flying on Trudeau's private jet without the kids? That's unusual. And there's one more document that I think is our document. I think we may have requested this. I don't think it's a order paper question. And yeah, that's the document. You got it there. And can you word search Sarah Clarke as well? And you can see that the flight from London back to Ottawa, this is coming back from King Charles's coronation. So Sophie Trudeau went, first of all, let's establish the fact that the coronation of King Charles was this May of 2023. So a year after Sophie had shacked up with this Ottawa surgeon. So Sophie Trudeau's living with this Ottawa surgeon, and it's causing some issues for his wife because of the security. But can you just put an image of, just show people that Sophie Trudeau and Justin Trudeau went to the coronation pretending to be married. Can you just give me a Google image of that, just to prove to people that they were there together? Yeah, right there. Oh, no, sorry, that's not the image. It doesn't have to be, like, I think you're searching in YouTube there. It could just be a... Oh, you think there's a video of it? Great. Take my word for it, they did. And that, I think, was the trip where, yeah. So here's put that on the screen. So here's all the dignitaries from around the world filing in. It's quite a prestigious event. It's a very fancy event. There's the Canadian flag. So in the first rank is, you can see the Governor General and her husband. And then there's Justin Trudeau and Sophie Trudeau holding hands as if they're married, presenting as if they're married, but they're not anymore. She's in a common law marriage with another guy now. How do you feel about taxpayers flying her to Ottawa? I mean, there's the deception aspect of it, which is a question in itself. How do you feel about being lied to? And then there's the cost aspect of it. Oh, hi, everybody. Did you know that every weekday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Mountain Time, we have a live stream where we talk about the news of the day, go over viral videos, hot tweets, hot takes, and we read your comments. In fact, if you make what's called a super chat or a Rumble rant of $5 or more, we'll read your comment on the air and respond to it. I've been doing a lot of these live streams lately, but when I'm not here, my friends Sheila Gunn-Reid and David Menzies do it too, and they are way more fun than me. But either way, it is a good show, and it's a way to stay up to date with the news of the day in short, snappy updates. It's not scripted. It's a live stream, and it's fun. You can always watch us on Rumble on YouTube, or just go to rebelnews.com. That's every weekday at 1 p.m. Eastern. See you there.